Hi all, it's Denise, and I'm in the Five Art Studio and Gallery and have been here for the last 2 weeks while my Pennies from Heaven show is going on in the front gallery. It's given me 2 full weeks of being in the studio down here and working on projects and being available for people who come in to see the show. But with that, I've been able to finish 6 pieces of art pretty much this week. And I've worked on pieces that will be going into my remnants, my ongoing remnant series, and airplanes going overhead all day long. You get used to it. So my remnant series are actually just that. It's scraps of paper, scraps of things that are in my studio that I just take the time and get them down on a canvas. I surround that all with Venetian plaster, and hopefully I have a video of doing that because I set my video up several times and forgot to hit the button. I know, crazy, forgot to hit the button and turn it on. So I've got 4 of these pieces done. I got 2 of these done, which are 12 by 12s, I think, but these are on cradle board or on gallery rack canvases that I bought at the thrift store for $2.99. Now, I already had something on them. I just work over it and let that be my undercoat. So I got 2 of those. So I have 6 paintings together done, along with a commission piece that is all memorabilia from someone's life for their birthday. And I think they gave me a whole stack of papers, and I went through and selected ones that kind of made a pleasing composition. And I'm excited for her to get this for her birthday. So today, this week's studio session, number 145, is all about putting this piece together. I think the video cut out when I went to show the Venetian plaster part, but I'll cover that in next week's because I think I'll do more of this for next week's studio session since that's what I'm still working on. So they look really good. Put them in a frame. They look fantastic. I can't wait until she receives this. Like I said, it's a commission piece that somebody commissioned me so they could give it for a birthday gift, and it's really a wonderful gift. I like it. So, hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up every week and seeing what I'm up to. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you again in next week's studio session. So take a look at this week. Bye. Okay, so I'm in the studio today and I'm working on one of my remnants pieces. And this is the piece that I've already done. It's hanging in my Pennies from Heaven show right now. And from that show, the cool thing that comes from shows is not only do you sell work from your show, you also get commission work or other work that you may have in the studio that's not part of the show, you sell that. So I've had a very successful show, and one of the things that I got out of it was doing a commission piece that goes along with my remnants. And this is a collection of papers and memorabilia and ephemera from the person who's having me do this piece. And it's a collection of the things that mean something to them. So I've kind of laid it out how I think I'm going to get all these pieces to make some kind of sense to the story that they want to tell, which is all about living back on the East Coast in the New England states. A little address book that had names and addresses of friends from school, words that meant something. This one says, creativity is not optional. This happens to be a piece that's going to a music teacher, music professor. Her father was an illustrator and did these really great illustrations back from the 50s. I'm adding those in. I'm adding a piece of music lines that you write the notes on when you go to correct something. You can paste this right over a line of notes and put in new notes. I'm guessing that's how it works. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. And then, not being a music person myself, and then just different papers that they were interested, that they had collected, and handmade papers from a family member. So it's not always easy to pull all that together, but I am gonna give it my best. So I've got my layout, and I'm taking a picture of it on my iPad so I can refer back to this as I take this all apart and start gluing it down onto my board. So I've locked my iPad. I know I can set it there, and now I can very carefully take all these pieces off and lay them over here so I know. Got my little pieces, those will go on last. I've got my creativity is not an option. Students succeed. Little papers. Address book. Little birds that were added into this collection. Some little design elements, papers that were made by a family member. Handmade paper that was made by a family member here. Music that was actually written by the person who will be receiving this. And paper, wrapping paper that was designed by her father. So I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna start with that. And I'm just working on a cradle board. And let me get started with this. I'm using my gel medium, my gloss gel medium. And I'm sure you've all done this before. Laid papers down. Let me get got my bowl scraper. And I want this guy. I'm going to bring this right up to the edge. And go right over it with the gel medium. And I'm sure you've laid papers down before. And if not, you know you need to keep an eye on your papers and make sure to get all the air bubbles out while the getting's good. And I use my bowl scraper for that. It's got a soft silicone beveled edge, and it really makes it easy to work all the bubbles out. And I'm working in the 5Art Studio, and for those of you who have followed along with my Instagram or my YouTube, you know that we're right at the San Diego International Airport, and yeah, along with that goes a lot of airplanes coming overhead. Now I'm gonna do this and get this is a map, and it's a pretty heavy paper. So I wanna put in a good amount of the gel medium. And then I'm gonna line it up. And smooth it out. Let me get the top part done on there first. And then I can work out those air bubbles a little bit on the top portion. Oops. And pull it up and get it laying out there straight. go. And I'm working on a cradle board, so I can be a little bit rougher with it than with a canvas. Okay, that's on there pretty good. I'm gonna keep coming down and get the rest of this laid down. And I'm just doing a section at a time because I think that's gonna help me keep an eye on getting this laid out nice and smooth. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna let that just sit for a minute to make sure I've got it smooth and no air bubbles are all of a sudden gonna pop up out of the blue. So as I'm going here, Massachusetts Bay, we've got, let me see, this is all Salem Sound. This is all near Boston and the Cape Cod area. That's what this map is about. Now, I'm covering the board with it knowing that it's not all gonna show up, so, and that's okay. Now I want to add in, let's get this piece of music added in here. And I'm actually, let's see. This one's gonna go up here. I'm actually going to tear this a little bit because I want there to be a torn edge. And I want there to be a nice smooth edge to come on the side, to line right up there, okay. Again, lining it all up. Now, this piece is going to be pretty much all collage, except for a little bit that I will add on of a Venetian plaster around the border to create kind of a mat made out of plaster. So, we got that one. This up here. I kind of hated to hide that Massachusetts Bay, the words. Do I have to? Maybe what I can do is, let me rethink this a little bit. And then always come back and check your work that you've already laid down to make sure it's staying down and not rippling. Okay. rethink this a little bit so I can keep this. The next thing that I was laying down, I believe I have this paper. This is handmade paper, really pretty handmade paper. I'm gonna put that right there. Oh, I think I have one more thing that goes in here first. I have this. And then I want to lay that. So when you're layering, you want to make sure that the bottom layer is down solid and secure before you put anything over top of it. So that's why I'm kind of taking a little bit of time and really working it. Work all those air bubbles out. Now, where's my little birds? Here's my little bird. I'll put him there. I was going to put this there, but I don't want the little bird hidden. Okay. Now, some papers that have a little bit of shine to them, you got to be careful with those because those are the worst behaving papers, the ones that are more likely to buckle up. And that's not buckle up in a good way. Now where am I going? Let's stay on this side for a minute. I have more music paper to add. And I think I want to do just enough and so that Massachusetts Bay shows through. Want to be really careful so you don't tear the paper like I just did. it's not a good idea to use the bowl scraper or anything else to lay down the tissue until it's down all the way. I have a little bit here. I can cut off and patch that up with. There we go. Now, what's next? Let's think about what's happening up here. I wanted to add a little bit more of the blue. Here we go. Just for a little bit of little added color. I'm going to put that right here. I like this to say, let's all dance. But I don't think we're gonna see that anyway. And I'm just adding some little pieces of paper just for a little bit of interest. And we're just gonna lay these. Right there. Okay. All right, now we have another little set of birds, and I think I did forget something. I think I got papers switched up. It won't really matter. Let's go right here with that one. And then we're gonna go right over top of that with more birds. As I'm going, I'm trying to keep, obviously with something like this, you can't show every little thing that's important because everything can't be important. But what we can do is leave little bits and pieces of things popping through that might be important to the receiver. So let's put this little guy here. Unfortunately, as I said, I'm looking right at my iPad. So that's helping me make decisions where things go. Now I want this little piece of paper. I want that to come right down here to add a little design element to this. Pulling that down, I'm going to pull it back up, get it to lay down. Okay, like that, nice straight line. Then we got this, since the receiver is a music professor, we've got students succeed. Let's plop that right here. And now where are we going? Let's see. Let's put this right here. And we've got this other cool piece of paper. Pulp paper that was made. So we have this that says creativity. And I want to put that. I'm going to have a frame that comes down there that's going to cover part of that. Maybe I'll put this down here. I think I'm going to put this down here because I don't want to cover up the music, and I don't want to cover up the very end of Bay. It's just a little shout out and she'll recognize it. So I have creativity happening here. And I'm thinking ahead because I'm going to have a border around this in Venetian plaster. So I don't want to put good stuff out on the edges. Let's see, and then we want this that says creativity is not optional. I like that. Little book pages. Forgetting something else. I did want to put this under this piece of paper. Let me see if I can pull that up. So this was an illustration by the receiver's father. So I want to make sure I get that in. And I think that is pretty good. Now I have some little text I want to add in there. Art for life's sake. Got that. I think I might just add that right in. I like to add them in places where they kind of camouflage in. Do your own thing together. Add this right here that says many paths to get artists in the classroom. Art for life's sake. And then this is something I'm adding in just because I like the color. They're little trading, little saving stamps. And I think that's good. I think that was all the pieces that I had pulled out to add in. I'm sure there's more I could do. However, I don't want to overdo. And you could easily overdo with collage.